this sweet lady who was already completely stressed out and truly only needed a couple of options ended up being inundated by all of these other senior living communities. So a waste of time for them because she's not at all interested. It's not a fit for what she needs for her family. And she's mad at me, unfortunately, even though I had nothing to do with it. And once we figured it out, she wasn't mad at me anymore. But welcome to Aging in Style, the podcast dedicated to celebrating aging and what it takes to do it well. I'm Lori Williams. I'm a certified senior advisor and senior housing expert. In each episode, you'll learn stories of older adults who are thriving in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and in some cases in their hundreds. Whether you're an older adult or the child of an older adult, this podcast is filled with insightful resources, organizations that are doing incredible work, and stories that will inspire you to volunteer, learn, and who knows, maybe even skydive in your golden years. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aging in Style with Lori Williams. Today, our topic is click with caution. And this is a cautionary tale that could save you and your loved ones a lot of frustration, stress, and unwanted phone calls and emails that just might drive you nuts. So this story is coming from a personal experience that happened last week for me. So one of my clients, a really sweet, sweet lady, she called me and she was in a complete tizzy. And she said, Lori, my phone and email are just blowing up with calls and messages from senior living communities. I mean, just like dozens of them. What did you do? And I'm like, I did nothing. So she was so upset. And she thought that I had sent her contact information out to all of these senior living communities, and I would never do such a thing. When I had talked to her a few days before this happened, we talked about her loved one. We went into details, into budget and what they needed, where they wanted to be, and we had fine-tuned a list to 2 places, and I had sent her 2 places. I told her these are the 2 places I think are the best fit, gave her the names, gave her the information, and did all of that with her. And so I'm like, how on earth did this happen? And so we did a little digging to figure out how this had happened, because this was not me. And so as we talked, the truth came out that she, the night before, had Googled another senior living community that I had not put on her list. And there was a reason I didn't put it on her list, because it was not a fit for the circumstances of her loved one. And so she Googled, say, XYZ, we'll just call it that, XYZ Senior Living. It popped to the site and it showed pictures of XYZ Senior Living. And then it had put in your contact information, your phone number, your email, all that. And she did. And unfortunately, she had sort of been, I hate to say tricked, but this is just the way it is in Google world. And this has happened, I'm sure, to most of us, where we think we are Googling something and something else comes up. So what had happened was she ended up on the site for a national senior referral service. So up at the top, like above where she clicked, it had National Senior Placement Service. And then underneath it, XYZ Senior Living Community. She thinks she's going to XYZ Senior Living, and she actually went to the National Placement Service, who got her information because she put it in, and they sent it out to all these places that some were 100% not a fit for what she needed. And that's why her phone was blowing up. So this is not something that just happens in senior living. This has happened to all of us. I recently was looking up a hotel, and I put in the name of the hotel, and it started giving me information. It was like, I think it was like hotels.com and all this stuff. And I'm like, why am I not getting just the specific hotel I want to see? And it comes down to, from what I understand from my smart people, is that these big companies, they have a lot of money. And so they pay for ads and SEO, which is search engine optimization. And then that ranks them higher on Google, which means that sometimes their site is going to show up before a community's own website. So even when you're searching it by name, so say you're searching XYZ senior living community, well, above XYZ, there's National Senior Placement Service. Or say I'm putting in Marriott Courtyard, and I think I'm going to the Marriott Courtyard, but it's hotels.com. So same kind of thing. And I'm sure it's happened to you, happens to all of us. But unfortunately, in this situation, what happened was this sweet lady who was already completely stressed out and truly only needed a couple of options ended up being inundated by all of these other senior living communities. So a waste of time for them because she's not at all interested. It's not a fit for what she needs for her family. And she's mad at me, unfortunately, even though I had nothing to do with it. And once we figured it out, she wasn't mad at me anymore. But, it just was an all around just crappy situation. So that's why I want to give you some tips on how to avoid this. So let's talk about 4 tips for safer searching or for clicking with caution. So here's a few things that you can do to make sure you are visiting the right website, the one that you intend to. So number 1, look at the URL. Double check that the web address before entering your information, like if it doesn't have the name of the community in the domain, it may not be the official site. And I think the easiest way to do that is when you're looking at it, look up at the very top. I think it's sort of like the gray area on my computer. I don't know if this is the same for everyone else. I'm like the least techie person, but it's like that area up at the top where it actually has the name of the website. So like mine would be LoriWilliamsSeniorServices.com. Okay, that is Lori's official site, and I'm there. Number 2, maybe call instead of clicking. If in doubt, just call the community directly. Again, though, let me caution you that I have done searches myself for communities and I see an 888 number, and then I kind of look a little higher up and I see it's National Placement Service, and they've got this kind of a tricky thing. It'll have National Placement Service, then XYZ Senior Living, and then a phone number, which is an 888 number. If I'm trying to call a local senior living community, it's probably not going to be an 888 number. So look a little further. Don't call that number because you may be getting stuck with National Placement Service. Number 3, avoid entering personal information too soon. So if a website's asking you for your email or phone number right away, just stop and just verify that you are on the correct site. Again, looking up, making sure it's the URL, the correct one, and not something that is maybe, National Placement Service or, like my other example of a hotel. It doesn't say hotels.com when you're just trying to look up Marriott. And number 4, work with a trusted professional. As a senior living expert, my team and I vet all of the different senior living communities. We match them to your specific needs. We ensure your information is shared only with places that make sense for you. We let you know what communities we are referring you to. We give you a contact name. We talk you through it, like why we think this would be a great fit for your loved one. Maybe they have a garden and your mom just loves to sit outside, like on a patio and have a garden, and that would just mean the world to her. I think the best way to go is with a local, I would say experienced. Also make sure they're experienced, and you can find them by, asking for referrals from friends and family, check Google reviews, just really make sure that they are someone who knows what they're doing. So there is a place for Googling, nothing against Googling because it is a great tool. And I honestly call myself the Google queen all the time, but it is so important that you click with caution. That's kind of the thing to take away. And remember, just before you click, be sure to confirm that you're going to the right place. Because especially when it comes to something as important as senior living, ever unsure or just overwhelmed, just reach out to someone you trust to guide you. I think that's always the best way to go. And if you're starting the search for senior living or just have questions, feel free to reach out to me. My team and I cover the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You can find my contact information on the website, which is loriwilliams-seniorservices.com. I'm here to help you navigate this process and with the utmost confidence and peace of mind that we can provide you with. So thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Aging in Style with Lori Williams. Be sure to share it with your friends and family. And until next time, take care, stay informed, and click with caution. Thanks. Bye-bye.